Alright, I'm back. Took a longer break than expected, but let's commence this. Cool, so we're recording, yeah. Alright, so took liquidity, respected this gap, took this liquidity, we've now broke this low, so realistically, can we expect these equal highs to go? Equal lows to go? Let's just double check on the daily where we're at. Yeah, I would have kind of guessed that anyway, but now we're coming down heavily. I'd say that that's pretty much where we're gonna go next. So, alright, might take it all in this one move. Oh man, imagine you start selling it. Alright, cool. So we've hit them daily lows now. I guess that's all over within. It's over very fast. So, next weekly target is most likely going to be this low. Going back to the daily, coming up to an order block, so we can expect some reactions, but nothing crazy. It's kind of a tough place to be at really, because of how far we've just sold off this. So you'd want to see a small pullback at this point, because we are so far deep. So let's see if we can start making some higher time frame market structure. 4 hour, double check this again. We're now in the order block, so we could possibly expect some higher move now. Kind of not even any point in looking at all these time frames because of the size of that fucking gap. So we could expect these highs maybe next. We've slowed down a lot. That is the high going into that 15-minute gap. We're in a daily order block as well. I wouldn't say it's super high probability, but I would possibly say that's next. I'd still say it's next. I think we're just building liquidity. Yeah, we're definitely building liquidity. Okay, so that's got taken. Okay, so now we have fair value gap right there, which we have just tapped into, but barely. So I still feel like we're possibly coming higher. And then we've got a gap below there. So let's see. Come into that. Rejecting it. Inverted. So we're inside of that. No clear target, to be honest. I'd say that these lows maybe, but I just feel like we're so far deep into this range that inverting this and then taking them lows is going to be the higher probable move. Okay, so it does look like we're selling still. Looking like we might invert this, like we was just saying, which we have. Cool. So looking like this lows might be next. Can we get a pullback into that? Alright, we'll make a 5-minute gap. We pull back into it. Alright, we respect that. We haven't really took any liquidity. Alright, and we respect that. I mean, disrespect that, sorry. So, looks like we're going higher. Oh, okay. That's always worth checking as well, isn't it? As we've actually rejected that. Cool, so I feel like obviously this high is next. We've pretty much already took it. Took that high and we're still respecting. Alright, disrespecting. Cool, so we can look at coming higher now. Okay. Like I was saying, it's a bit of a dangerous one really because we've got so much room to fill. I might actually just skip this to the next day because this kind of price action is just a bit useless really. Could go anywhere. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. 7 o'clock. Okay. That was possibly going to be the target, but we would never know that now. Okay. 4 hour. Sorry, not 4 hour on that. 4 hour on this. Alright, cool. So we did get our little reaction. Still nothing crazy. It's kind of still a bit of a difficult place to be. But at least we've got a little bit more price action to dictate. So 4 hour is kind of that low. For our buys would be them highs. So let's have a look. Took these lows. Possibly going to see another reaction up here again. But we're going to just still play the easy stuff. So really, before we start buying, I want to see that get inversed. At least. Selling. Looks like there's nothing for selling really. We are failing to have any kind of power going down. I mean, we might, but alright, we got an accumulation right there. Real obvious one. Many equal highs, many equal lows. Don't think there's anywhere for me to get in, but I would say the draw is going to be higher now. If we inverted that, yeah, I'd say that this is the draw now, these highs. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So next on the agenda, we've actually now just seen some volume, so I'm gonna just wait and see what the rest of this trade has to offer. We're in a 5-minute gap right here. Draw on liquidity is higher. Still respecting the gap. Disrespected the gap, okay, so we might be coming lower now. Okay, and we took some significant liquidity. We've been respecting these gaps, which I didn't notice. Okay. So why are we coming lower? That's a good question. Closed all that 5-minute stuff. What does this represent again? I can't remember. Is it a 4-hour gap? I can't remember what that represents. Oh, that was the 15-minute gap, wasn't it? That we was waiting to inverse before buying. Well, before targeting that high there. So I'm gonna drop back to the 5 because there's nothing to look at on the 15. Looking like the draw might be lower right now. Seem to be respecting bearish, although all the power is coming up bullish and all the slow movements down is bearish. So I wouldn't say it's a safe option yet. Alright, we're coming up into a small 5-minute gap. Anything on the 15? No, although we are closing a gap on the 15. Anything on the 3? Small gap on the 3, so maybe we could look at a short if we take this high and then get an inversion. We took many highs, however, we disrespected a gap in the process. Alright, this is just fucking accumulating, isn't it? I don't see where's next. No, I'd go here again. But again, we need to wait for confirmation. Alright, we should take that. Coming up into this 15-minute gap now. So let's see if we invite it. I would definitely say that this is going to be next and now. We're like so close to it. I mean, it's a bit obvious, but so close to that now. It'd be good if we start pulling back. Okay, nowhere for me to get in on that. Unfortunately. Okay. So 15 is inverted. Cool. So looking like our draw should be this high here. Nothing stopping it on the 30. Alright, okay, we are inside of an hourly gap. So the 15, there's nothing stopping it on the 15 either. So for now, I would say that we are going higher. We do have an hourly gap that we need to keep an eye on. Nothing on the 4 hour. 4 hour looks like these are going to be the draw as well. 15 looks like it. So let us see what is next. Alright, we made a 5-minute gap. Equal highs. It's nice. Equal lows now. Very nice, okay. So, coming into this 5-minute gap. I just want to check this on 15 where we're at. No gap on the 15 here. So we're going to rely on the 5 to tell us what we need to know. 5-minute respected. Looking like it might disrespect. Okay, we've closed that gap. So these lows might be next, possibly all the way to down here, this gap. Let's see how we fare against that. Alright, and we've also now just tapped into this, meaning that if we take that high, we should take the low. Tapped into that gap again. That was the next draw. Now we're in we have ourselves a little 5-minute. We'd expect this to hold. Cool, so we've got quite a move off that. These are going to be the low hanging target. So that's pretty much 100% going to hit. Okay, and then realistically, once we hit that, we'd have to just keep an eye on what happens next. Right, okay. So, took that. Let's check this higher time frame. Why is this frozen? Alright, higher time frame says that these highs are going to be next. So that could be worth holding on for. I'd say the hour's pretty much saying the same. We're inside this 1 hour gap, but we've made equal highs in it. So, okay. And we've inversed that, so really looking strong now. Really looking like that's going to be the next draw, and it is. Cool, so keep this moving. Looking like that's going to be next. Bearing in mind we're still in this hour gap, but we are looking like we might invert it. So let's keep this going. Might just take that high anyway now without coming back down, but we shall see. Alright, so looking like we've built up a nice bit of liquidity here. So this could be a move for us. What time is it? We've got 3 minutes to the 15-minute gap closes. No real reason to come further past this area, so I don't think I really need to wait for that 15-minute gap. And that is a fucking monster of a candle. So that is our next high to go. Right, we took that. Took the next one, which is nice. So realistically, nothing is stopping us from going all the way now. Which we might do straight away, or we might come and take all of these lows. Which would be a 15-minute gap, which is nice. Good reaction off of that. We haven't really got any areas that we can look to take at this point, just because there's such a massive drop. So we might have to play a little pullback on this. Interestingly, we have just respected that opposing gap. A small little accumulation, which is nice. Are we going to respect this? Yes, we do. Come back and took liquidity. Alright, 100% that's next. And then maybe holding on for something else after that. But that's trader's discretion. That is up to thy trader. Alright, any gaps that we can look at here? No, we have a 3-minute gap that got inverted. Come down, we've just took liquidity. We've just inverted some kind of weird gap there, so I guess that's next now. Cool. And then right, okay, now we're looking like we're going to invert that. We haven't yet, but we look like we will. Oh boy, 230. Okay, cool. And then we've hit our next target again. Okay, consistency. So we've hit the low hanger. Now we've inverted all of this though. That possibly should be the next target again. So nothing really to look at on these other time frames. At the moment, there's nothing to the left stopping us at all. Okay, so we could start looking at some 5-minute stuff. No real inversions to look at yet. Come down, disrespected that 5 gap, so looking like the draw might be lower. However, we just have took a small bit of liquidity there. 15, we just closed the gap, which is fine. 3, we've inverted that, which not really, but we've inverted that as well, so potentially looking at lower prices, but we're gonna have to see how we react to this gap here. Be a bit of a counter trend move, however it does make sense that we could come further down. So just bearing in mind that it is pretty strong counter trend. Pardon me. Frozen again. Okay. However, counter trend, yes, but we have took quite significant liquidity, so kind of is nothing wrong with a little bit of a sell for now. Would like to see how that reacts. Okay, so 5 minute has made a gap. So actually, even though we've possibly tapped in on the 3, not really that interested until we tap in on the 5 as well. Okay, and this is why. Oh, okay, no, we've come all the way up and back down. Hang on. Alright, we inverted that though. Why? Come up, we took a lot of liquidity, we still respected this gap, and now we're right up there. Right, now we're back down. Interesting, don't know what's going on here. Inverted all of that stuff. Right, I'm guessing these lows are next, but it's anyone's guess at this point. Yeah, okay. That was just some dodgy ass move. This is not something you'd want to be in on at all. So building up, looking like we're going to take that high. 15. Still nothing on the 15, we're just closing everything. 30, nothing. Hour, nothing. So we're just sticking on the 5 for now. Bear in mind we've got a lot of lows right there. So let's just play that with caution. We're currently in a 5 minute gap. Looking for the draw to be higher. If we invert this, I'd pretty much confidently say that at least we're going to take that higher. Waiting. That's a nice candle because we've not only respected that, but we've tapped into that. On the 3, we're all still respecting as well, which is good. Still nothing on the 15. So yeah, like I said, if we invert, I wouldn't really say that one, but I'd say if we invert that higher one, we're good to go. I'd say we're pretty much good to go at this point now. That many rejections, failure to break that low. I'd guess that it's going to be this high. Our safest target is going to be this high. So I'd probably aim for that to start with. If we're going to see that high, we do. Do we invert off of that high? Do we have anything to fight against that actually? No, so we should keep going higher. Could still come lower. Okay, cool. So we're going to take all of them highs now. And there we go. So I guess really my model is drawing liquidity, respecting PDOAs. Yeah, significant liquidity taken. And then we look for our fair value gap, which was that, and then these. That was obviously a safer move, just targeting that. And then once we inverted that, it was pretty obvious that that's going to be the next draw. And then yeah, we took that. We're now inside a giant area, so I'm going to leave that for future me to deal with. That's going to be quite difficult next move. So another really good draw and liquidity backtest. I've got my confidence back just off of this. I wish I didn't let my account go so low, but it is what it is. This is all lessons, isn't it?